Shall we? Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide says it is ready to partner with the people of Rivers State, particularly the Ikwere ethnic group, as Igbos and members of Ohaneze Ndigbo. President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Dr. Emmanuel Iwayan, who made a call during a press conference in Port Harcourt on his first official visit to Rivers State after assuming office as President General years ago, said the Igbos comprise of many places and ethnic groups in the south-south, southeast, southwest of Nigeria, including Ikwere, Ahoda, Omoku, Eche, Enugu, Akwa Ibom, amongst others.
That all over the country, there is hardly any local government in Nigeria where you don't have Igbos. Igbos are living everywhere, and wherever they live, they pursue their occupation, they pursue their business. They are very loyal and faithful people. They are honest in their transaction with their people. And that is why Ikwere people are Igbos. Ahoda people are Igbos. Omoku people are.
Chief Dr. Emmanuel Iwayan will further reawaken the consciousness of the people of Ikwere ethnic group that it should not forget her place of origin and urge the FCT minister to continue with his good work while assuring him that Ohaneze Ndigbo is strongly behind him as minister.
Staying there because people who are dishonest, people who are fraudulent cannot be able to survive in foreign places. But Igbos, wherever they go, they prosper. They establish businesses, they build schools, they build churches, they build hospitals, they build so many, they participate. They contribute to gross domestic product. They don't got anything you call official registration or membership. No. Ohaneze is is established by the collective desire of Igbos to protect each other. Igbos say, Onyagala Wanneya, Onyagala Wanneya. That all over the country there is hardly any local government in Nigeria where you don't have Igbos. Igbos are living everywhere, and wherever they live, they pursue their occupation, they pursue their business. They are very loyal and faithful people. They are honest in their transaction with their people. And that is why they are staying there, because people who are dishonest, people who are fraudulent cannot be able to survive in foreign places. But Igbos...
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the line.
Police command has paraded suspected criminals involved in various crimes in different parts of the state, including a 500-level student of the Abia State University, Uturu, who shot dead a fellow student, Emmanuel Uche, in a lodge at Uturu last month. Parading the suspects and the recovered exhibits at police headquarters in Umuahia. The public relations officer of the Abia State Command, ASP Maureen Chinaka, said that the command under Commissioner of Police Kenechukwu Wu Emelie has recorded tremendous success in the fight against criminals and criminality in recent months. She said over 100 suspected criminals were arrested in various parts of the state, stressing that many of the cases were charged in court and successfully prosecuted. She also said the Abia State Police Command is determined to sustain the war against criminality. Earlier in his speech, Abia State Commissioner of Police Kenechukwu Onwe Mulie also assured that there would be transparent handling of the death of Aba-based businessman Emmanuel Okocha, who was allegedly shot dead by a policeman. Governor Eno tasked stakeholders on protection of government assets. Akwa Ibom State Governor has tasked stakeholders across the 3 senatorial districts of the state to set up neighborhood watch or vigilante to protect government assets in their localities. He said the government will no longer continue to invest resources in such facilities if they are vandalized. Eno, who disclosed this while addressing worshippers at the April edition of Government House monthly prayer service held at the later House Chapel, Governor's Lodge, Uyo, said government is determined to touch all communities in the state and replace vandalized facilities. He expressed disappointment that some of the transformers amounting to over 200 boats and distributed by the immediate past administration had been vandalized, and called on stakeholders to form a neighborhood watch or vigilante to protect those transformers and other government assets in the state. Farmers and herders in the southwest region of Nigeria have signed a peace pact to permanently end clashes between the 2 warring groups and promote food security for the benefit of all and sundry. The coordinator of Commodities Farmers Organization in Southwest, Shegun Dasolu, and the president of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Othman Ungelzama, respectively signed a peace pact on behalf of the 2 groups at the Summit Supreme in the zone in particular and Nigeria at large, adding that the summit focuses on ensuring the Southwest farmers return to the farm and also to promote food security in the country. Also, the president of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria said, and I quote, "Nothing works when there is no peace," and promised to work with farmers to promote food security in Nigeria. About 8 gunmen dressed in black were said to have invaded Ajade Event Center, University Ilison Remo, Yinka Olowojobi, while 2 others were equally abducted during the invasion. The incident, according to a statement from the spokesperson of Ogun State Police Command, Omolola Ojutola, on Monday, happened on Friday, April 19 at about 9:20 p.m. The gunman was said to have shot Olowojobi in the chest after allegedly resisting to go with them. The slain Babcock University lecturer, alongside one Dare and another person yet to be identified who were abducted, were said to be relaxing in the lounge of the event center when this daredevil gang struck. Ishaya was said to have just been employed 2 weeks ago as a security guard when the event center was opened. Moving on now, at least 14 persons died in a head-on collision involving 2 Toyota buses on Sunday in Kogi State. 13 persons survived the accident that occurred at Aloma community in Ofu local government area of the state, correspondents report. An eyewitness said the accident involved a Toyota Sienna bus heading toward Abuja from Port Harcourt and a Toyota Hiace bus heading to the southern part of the country. The witness said in continuation that including the driver of the Hiace bus were completely roasted by the fire that engulfed the bus immediately after the head-on collision. One of the 4 surviving persons in the bus died in hospital from burns suffered, bringing the number to 14 that died, the witness said. According to him, none of the 10 occupants of the Sienna bus died, but I quote, they were badly wounded and are receiving treatment in a hospital, he added. He commended the villagers who quickly came to the scene of the accident and rescued the injured. And I quote, "It is because of their timely intervention that the Sienna bus did not get burnt as well," he said. The eyewitness blamed the accident on speeding and potholes on the road and added that it took rescuers 3 hours to remove the driver of the Sienna bus, whose 2 legs were badly damaged. Contacted, the Kogi Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Samuel Oyedeji, confirmed the accident. Moving on now to other news, Kwara State Government has commenced another round of polio immunization campaign for children under the age of 5 in the state. The exercise, which is the second in the series in the year, is expected to cover all the nooks and crannies of the state beginning from Saturday the 20th to Tuesday the 23rd April 2024. Speaking during the flag-off of the campaign, the Executive Secretary of the State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Nusirat Elelu, called on all parents, religious houses and schools to get the target children vaccinated within the stipulated time, adding that the vaccine is safe and efficacious. She said poliomyelitis is a highly infectious viral disease that largely affects children under 5 years, adding that the virus can be transmitted through the fecal-oral route or less frequently by contaminated water or food. Elelu also said though Nigeria has been certified polio-free, there is a need to sustain the gains by ensuring the most at-risk group is protected by boosting population immunity of eligible children through supplementary and routine immunization activities such as this exercise. There's more news, but don't forget you can connect with us and watch us on our social media handles, ATN Socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlantic-network.tv. With the flashlights of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on abuses of Naira, Nigerians have devised new methods to ensure that the funfair that comes with the spraying of Naira at social functions remains. Party lovers became conscious of the seriousness of the crimes when the anti-graft agency made a statement with a controversial Idris Okuneye, a.k.a. Bobrisky, who was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment without the option of fine for abusing the Naira. Earlier in February 2024, actress Oluwada Simi Omoshein was convicted and sentenced to 6 months in prison for defacing the Naira by spraying and stepping on them at a social event in Lagos. After Bobrisky's conviction, a socialite, Pascal Okechukwu, also known as Cubana chief priest, got a 10 million naira bail after he pleaded not guilty to the charge of abusing the naira. After the former's conviction and the latter's trial, a list of 9 actions involving the naira that could lead to legal consequences was made by credible sources. They praying, writing, tearing, stapling, dancing or stamping on the naira, selling, mutilating, rejecting the naira and money bouquets as actions involving the naira that could lead to legal consequences. The clean notes policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria was implemented to enhance the visual appeal and durability of the banknotes in circulation, as stated on the official website of the Apex Bank. Nigeria Labour Congress has listed 7 demands for the federal government ahead of the May 1, 2024 Workers' Day, including a new minimum wage and also asking for the creation of state and local government police to tackle insecurity in the country. The Congress also must pay the new minimum wage when it is eventually approved, stressing that the International Workers' Day, also known as Labor Day in some countries and often called May Day, is a celebration of the working class and is marked annually on May 1 or the first Monday in May. Labour said on the 2024 Workers' Day it is expecting that President Bola Tinubu may unveil the newly proposed minimum wage for workers in the country on that day, which the organized labour had pegged that the new minimum wage should be 615,000 naira per month tentatively. A member of the National Executive Council of the Trade Union Congress said the decision was reached before the hike in electricity tariff by the federal government. A pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Olugbenga Olawore, was kidnapped at the Maya area of Lalanteroa Road in Oyo State, regained his freedom on Sunday. Correspondents report that Olawore and a few others were kidnapped on Thursday at the Maya area, all within the state boundary. The State Commissioner for Information, Dotun Oyelade, who made this known in a statement in Ibadan, the state capital, on Sunday, said, and I quote, "Our people should be rest assured that our security apparatus in the state are fully alive and alert to their responsibilities. The state government is monitoring and gauging the security situations within its boundary efficiently." President Bola Tinubu on Monday, April 22nd, hosted the African Counter Tourism Summit in Abuja. Special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, who disclosed this in a statement, said Nigeria, with the support of the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism, is organizing the high-level African Counter-Terrorism Summit under the theme Strengthening Regional Cooperation and Institution Building Address to the Evolving Threat of Terrorism, slated from April 22 to April 23. He said the objective of the summit is to enhance multilateral counter-terrorism cooperation and reshape the collective response to terrorism in Africa, while emphasizing the importance of African-led and African-owned solutions. The statement also said the summit will provide a platform to reveal the nature and severity of the threat of terrorism on the continent, with a view to agreeing on concrete strategic priorities and measures to address the scourge, and also foster deeper regional collaboration, enhancing the institutional capacity of member states, as well as facilitate the exchange of best practices and knowledge to combat the multifaceted threat of terrorism in Africa. Heads of state and government and high-level government officials across Africa, representatives of international organizations and multilateral institutions, members of the diplomatic corps, and members of civil society groups are expected to attend the summit, adding that Amina Mohammed, the United Nations Deputy Secretary General, will attend the event, while Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor, and Vladimir Voronkov, the Under Secretary General of Counter-Terrorism, will deliver the concluding remarks at the end of the summit. Wife of the President of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has unveiled a second 76-meter high-endurance offshore patrol vessel. Commodore A. Adams Aliyu said the vessel is the second of the two 76-meter HE built by the Sun shipyard and launched on October 26, 2023. According to Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, quoted in the statement that the construction of the 2X LPVs commenced in 2022, and the launch of 6-meter HE-LPV marks a significant milestone in Nigeria's commitment to safeguarding her territorial waters and combating maritime threats. Moving on now, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control conducted raids on several popular supermarkets in Abuja, including Sahar stores and H-Medics in Wuse 2 and Gwariba. The enforcement team also targeted markets in Garki, Wuse, Utako, Kugbo, Nyanya, and Mararaba, leading to the seizure of counterfeit products. During the operation, counterfeit cosmetics and drugs were uncovered and confiscated. Counterfeit cosmetics, including fake Nivea products, Jig bleach, Harpic toilet cleaner, and Airwick room freshener, were discovered at Sahard stores, H-Medics, and various markets were seized. Air Transport Service Senior Staff Association of Nigeria is planning to ground aviation operations in Nigeria over the federal government's 50% internal revenue deduction policy for ministries, agencies, departments, MDAs, and government-owned enterprises. National Executive Council of the Union disclosed this in a communique after NEC in Ibadan, Oyo State. This is coming after the federal government, in a letter through the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, mandated all MDAs to remit 50% of all the internally generated revenue to the government's coffers, and asked for exempting aviation agencies from the deduction of 50% of their IGR under the Fiscal Responsibility Act. The association has generated revenue deduction from federal government-owned enterprises. There are strong indications that domestic airlines operators may reduce ticket prices for passengers due to the imminent supply of aviation fuel, otherwise known as jet A1, considering that there had been sustained increase in the price of jet fuel over the last 4 years. Indigenous carriers were forced to enhance operations before May 29, when President Bola Tinubu turns 1 year in office. It said the federal government was set to deliver 100 conversion workshops and 60 refueling sites spread across 18 states before the end of 2024. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, revealed this in a statement he signed on Sunday titled Presidential CNG Initiative Set for Rollout. And I quote, "From the end of May, Nigeria will take some baby steps to join such nations that already have large fleets of CNG vehicles. Over 600 buses are targeted for production in the first phase, which will be accomplished in 2024. In October 2023, about 5 months after the removal of petrol subsidy, Tinubu launched an initiative to deliver cheaper, safer, and more climate-friendly energy. The CNG initiative was designed to deliver compressed natural gas, especially for mass transit. The federal government earmarked 100 billion naira, part of the 500 billion naira palliative budget, to purchase 5,500 CNG vehicles, buses, and tricycles, 100 electric buses, over 20,000 CNG conversion kits, with plans to develop CNG refueling stations and electric charging stations nationwide. The FG has said the initiative would ease the burden of the increased pump price on the masses. The presidency has said it is set to launch about 2,000 compressed natural gas-powered buses and tricycles before May 29, when President Bola Tinubu turns 1 year in office. It is said that the government was set to deliver 100 conversion workshops and 60 refueling sites spread across 18 states before the end of 2024. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy revealed this in a statement he signed on Sunday titled Presidential CNG Initiative Set for Rollout. From the end of May, Nigeria will take some baby steps, he said, to join some nations that already have large fleets of CNG vehicles. Over 600 buses are targeted for production in the first phase, which will be accomplished in 2024. In October 2023, about 5 months after the removal of petrol subsidy, Tinubu launched the Presidential CNG Initiative to deliver cheaper, safer, and more climate-friendly energy. The CNG initiative was designed to deliver compressed natural gas, especially for mass transit. The federal government earmarked 100 billion naira palliative to purchase 5,500 CNG vehicles, 100 electric buses, and over 20,000 CNG conversion kits, with plans to develop CNG refilling stations and electric charging stations nationwide. The FG had said the initiative would ease the burden of the increased pump price on the masses. Nigeria's motor sports promotion outfit Work and Play has said the recently concluded 8th Ondo Auto Rally in Ilamokin has helped in deepening inclusion and collaboration among different industry players. President of the group, Adeo Joko, while speaking on the impact of the Ondo Auto Rally concluded earlier in the month, confirmed that the event had the biggest attendance, including racers, enthusiasts, tourists, and even service providers compared to previous editions. And I quote, "Growth comes in different forms, and for us, it has been interesting considering that we are experiencing drifting on a parade of the visiting motorcycle community from different parts of the country who have been part of the event since its inception." Electricity distribution companies this coast weekend remained under pressure to meet the demand of customers under Band A, expected to enjoy a minimum of 20 hours of daily supply as Nigeria's power allocation dropped to 3,059 megawatts yesterday. Credible sources say data sustained from Energy System Operator, an autonomous unit in the transmission of Nigeria, indicated that the allocation was inadequate to meet the demand of Band A and other classes of consumers nationwide. Further checks showed that Abuja Disco 472 megawatts, Ikeja Electric, and others received highest load from the system operators. Others were Ibadan Disco, Benin Disco, Enugu Disco, Port Harcourt Disco, Kano Disco, Kaduna Disco, Jos Disco, and Yola Disco, with varying amounts of megawatts. On generation, data showed that 17 of the nation's 26 power plants were on the grid as at 3 p.m. with Delta Plant 437 megawatts. Azura IPP and Egbin Power were the top 3 suppliers to the national grid. Energy analyst and expert Professor Wumi Iledari, who supported the classification of customers into bands, said there is a will be communicated. You're still watching Government and Public Service reports on Atlantic Television Network. More news right after this break. Stay with us.
Across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the line across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. The fact today, only on ATN. From the line across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourables,
you human
on the point of order.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board said yesterday its official who directed a female candidate to remove her hijab before entering the examination hall in Lagos had been appropriately sanctioned. It also said the conduct of the 2024 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, which commenced on Friday, April the 19th, 2024, had been seamless as over 1.2 million candidates would have successfully taken the examination by today. Reports had emerged that a candidate donning hijab was asked to remove her head cover during the accreditation process before being allowed into the examination hall at the Bafuto Institute Ilewe bus stop, Ejigbo, Lagos. The development had been trailed by controversies as some adherents of a particular religious faith rose against the action. Reacting to the development in a statement yesterday, the board, which said 45 blocks of the illicit substance weighing 49.7 recovered from the equipment, while additional 2.2 was seized at the syndicate's warehouse in Ayobo area of Lagos. It continued while the agency had secured interim forfeiture court order on hotel mansions, vehicles and funds traced to members of the syndicate after arresting 4 of them. A manhunt was also launched for others who went underground. The effort, however, paid off on Friday, 19th April, when 2 of the wanted kingpins, Oyinyechi Irene Igbokuputa and Franklin Uzochukwu, were arrested in Lagos and Oka, Anambra states, respectively. Welcome. Okay, a downpour that lasted for over an hour and 20 minutes on Sunday destroyed several vehicles, electrical poles and wires at Songota under bridge and Ojore area of Ogun. Mrs. Busso Lami Tuwanswase, lead media relations Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, confirmed the incident to the news agency of Nigeria in Ota, Ogun State. According to IBDC, no life was lost, but properties estimated at over 100 million naira, especially vehicles, were destroyed by the heavy rain. Tuwase said that IBDC was aware of the development and had deployed its technical team to the area. I quote, "We are appealing to the public to stay clear of every electrical pole, wire and other electrical installation until we are able to clear everything off the road," Tunwashe said. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has confirmed 8 deaths so far and over 208 suspected new cases following an outbreak of a strange illness in Sokoto State. Dr. Ibrahim Usman, the manager of the center, said yesterday at an interactive session with officials of the State Ministry of Health that the incident happened in Sabon Birni and Issa local government areas of the state. He also said prompt measures were taken by the NCDC and the state government to control the spread of the yet-to-be-identified disease, as samples were taken to NCDC labs for analysis. He stated that the illness manifested with symptoms of abdominal disorder, feverishness, vomiting, and sudden weight loss. Recently, the State Deputy Governor, Engineer Idris Mohammed Gabir, told the visiting Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, at a courtesy call that the strange illness had killed many in Issa local government area of the state. Gabir urged the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, to do the needful with a view to identifying and curtailing the continued spread of the disease to other areas of the state. He said the state government has already dispatched a team of experts with medicaments to ascertain the situation and provide first aid to victims who have contracted the illness. The NCDC has so far deployed a national rapid response team to work with the Ministry of Health to further investigate the matter. And I quote, "All affected children were taken to specialist hospital Sokoto for treatment, and residents of the affected areas have been sensitized on the dangers of the strange illness and advised to report new cases promptly." The NCDC, which conveys emergency meeting, stated that the killer disease that now spreads has claimed lives, as 164 new cases were said to have been reported. And this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Report on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Anwuli Akoga. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network,